I'll join in.
Ooh, da-do-do. You're supposed to let them hear the song. We're not recording.
Oh, I'm not singing that song.
What?
Because it's a terrible song, honestly. And I said that when you wrote it.
Wow, no, you didn't. You was like, send it to me. Send it to me.
I said, send this to me
My
because
bad.
I'm
You
not
was
going to
like-
remember
He was like,
this.
send it to me. But all right. I'm live. Oh, what up? Man, you did that on purpose. Caught
He
me
did.
all off guard. I love you, JG. He mad at me, so he did it on purpose. What's up? This episode of Cocktails with Cocktales is brought to you by Cocktails with Cocktales. See, there we go. Shout out to JG over there on the ones and twos. This is what we do at Cocktails with Cocktales. We strive to make sex an open conversation and no longer taboo. And we always say, ask for permission first.
Period.
And no matter what, make sure she comes first. Those are the two first of sex.
Yep. Come and consent.
Double C. I like that. Come and consent. That's the name of this episode. Text that to me, please.
I will later.
So, I want to do an intro. I just want you to shout out a random black business. That's just first thing that comes to your mind. Your social media handle, and the last time you cried during sex.
Oh, Black Jesus.
I'll go first. I actually had a black business in mind, and now I want to make sure that I say the name right. So, this black business is actually going to be the first phone conversation and interview that I have on Cocktails with Cocktales. And they are coming on next month. And the name of this black business is Be Condoms. And I can't fucking wait.
Okay.
We're going to talk about sex and condoms. It's a black-owned condom company. And
Lit.
even though I don't use condoms, I bought some.
Make sure they bring enough samples for everybody.
Yeah. I actually jacked off with them, a couple of them, and they jacked off good.
Oh, I got some condoms for you, actually.
All right. Okay. Thanks. You going to pass them out to us?
Yeah, I got a couple if anybody
Jamila
wants
be
them. They're my
getting it in.
favorite.
You single, right?
They're my favorite brand of condoms.
You single?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so she be getting in. She probably need a couple of different condoms. She got a tall dick, long dick, short dick, thick dick.
Oh, no,
You know,
hold on,
just-
no short.
Oh, okay. There we go. All right. So, anywho, so that's my intro to my black business. Y'all know who it is. It's B.Smith, the one you love to hate.
I haven't
Easy
used those
Lee.
yet.
Oh, these are the best ones.
Oh,
Here
let
you
me
look.
try one.
I mean, I got some.
No, I need
condoms
two.
for
I need one to
everyone.
jack off with and another to jack
No,
off
you're
with.
going to get that one to jack off with, and we're going to give one to Jamila
I'ma
to
get
try
that,
if she
yeah.
wants
They are the
to.
best kind.
Pick it up.
Really? Yeah, get that.
They're my favorite kind.
No,
They're my favorite kind of condoms.
closer to
And
it.
I have a literally, I don't use
Hey,
condoms for the
how
most
we
part.
gonna talk
but
about
I
a black
have
condom
a
company and then
box
you
of
start
condoms.
talking about another condom company?
Because I just wanted to, because
in front of that,
I'm
you
so
don't see
sorry.
the hate to the black company?
I don't, because I'm very excited for this
You could've
black
bought one of
company
them.
because
Like,
I will
is
start
it-
buying from them.
Like,
I
have you tried their condoms?
Yeah.
What do they feel like?
They feel good for jack off. I don't.
Well, see,
I'm
you don't
raw
have a
dog
vagina,
McGraw
so
right
I
now.
need to
I'm in
know,
a
like,
relationship.
no,
she needs
give
to
me
try
mine.
different. Give her the. She needs to try different kind of. It's hard to once you find your condom, you find your as a woman. Once you find your condom, you find your condom. But I'm very excited for this black-owned condom.
Question,
company, 'cause
though.
I will.
Yes.
Do y'all like judge niggas who can't stay hard with a condom on?
I
never
judge
had
niggas
that
who can't stay
It's
hard.
hard for me
Period.
to-
So
It's not hard for me to stay hard at all, but with a condom on,
yeah.
yeah. I feel like I can't feel my dick, like it's suffocating my dick.
try these condoms.
Like example, like you know how you breathe, right? I feel like my dick has to breathe and it's not able to breathe and it's being suffocated. So
You sound like that lady in Florida who was screaming at them because they did the mask mandate. She said, I don't wear a mask the same way I don't wear drawers. You got to let the thing breathe. That's what you sound
She was
like.
Let
white
your dick breathe.
course.
and in
Of course,
Florida.
right.
Of course.
It all makes
Florida
sense.
shit,
Okay.
bro. Florida shit.
All right. Well, Jamila, we said your name, but you still got to introduce yourself.
All right. So my name is Jam. I don't like,
Oh, I said your
People-
full
you
government.
did.
You should have gave me a heads up.
that. My full government's off limits.
I've been saying that shit all. I actually.
It's
Go
okay.
ahead, Jam.
I know. My name is Jam. I am at BaeTheBlogger.
Blog.
Brr, 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 brr. And what
how you
else do
fart,
I gotta
man.
do? Oh my god. Is it biased
Favorite
if I
black
shout out my
business?
own black business?
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, whatever. Shout out to Jackson JAXONPR.events.
Oh, can
On
you do PR
Instagram.
for me?
I sure can.
Oh, I can use it.
Yeah, you can.
But listen, you be doing crazy shit where we gotta do crisis communication every now and then.
Depending on what bitch you ask. I'm sorry. I did. That was petty. I'm so sorry. I meant it.
I know you ain't that kind of person though. Uh-oh.
Okay.
I'm not.
Okay. All right.
Just because I vent behind closed doors every blue moon.
Are we ready to continue with introductions?
Yes, ma'am.
Come on.
Okay.
Shout out to these earrings.
Thing.
What they say? Oh, murder. Mm-hmm.
Did I say murder or murderer?
Murder.
Let me see.
It ain't another ER on there.
Oh, damn. Sorry.
All right.
Murder. Sorry.
Well, my name is Alessa.
Hey, Alessa.
Hey.
This is like your 8th time on the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you keep doing shit.
I do.
She fucked 8 niggas at once last week.
Yep.
Okay.
No.
She was trying so hard not to judge.
No, listen, I was trying to see if this was like a real thing or not, but okay.
No, not 8. But anyway. My name is Alessa. My social media is Hippie of the Hood, HIPPIE.
I love that name for you.
Thanks. And my favorite black business is Audio Wave Network.
Period.
Wow, that's a good one. Hey, shout out to JG, man. He really
shout out to
black
JG.
people in Detroit. And,
He was like, turn it off. Let me give my shout out. Shout out to JG.
Yeah, Audio Wave Network. Seriously, we really appreciate you for giving us a voice and putting all these East Siders and these West Siders together.
Yeah.
And before you got mad at me, I had this plan.
I'm not mad at you. I don't get mad at you.
He's not mad. Disappointed.
Shut up.
All right, so
Do you want me to do this to you on this?
do what? You be getting nasty, man. Look, let's get back to this, man. Damn, gonna have people think if we really fucking. So, anywho, get back to this show. The intro question is: the last time you cried during sex?
Yesterday.
That's why you got his sweats on?
These are my pants.
She got on Beyonce, Moses, Jesus sandal Crocs.
They are really cute.
Yeah, they are.
I think
They
these my
are.
pants.
They look like
And
you could
I-
stab somebody and stun on somebody
I was
and be
willing
comfortable
to go
all
with
at the
your
same time.
excuse of, running errands earlier.
I was running in.
But the fact that you even gave an excuse and then showed up with these shoes on.
She
'cause
came
I
an
didn't
hour
even notice
late,
the
y'all.
shoes. You know what, Jam? I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt.
Of the dick.
I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt and let you,
I had it
with
yesterday. Didn't have it this morning, but
That's okay, cause never mind.
Did he pull on your pony?
Go ahead.
I had to tell him to stop because it's like a quick weave, so that shit would have fell off.
So is this like a boo, like a random? What's up?
I'm
I'm just letting all the niggas know, like, before they slide in your DM asking for some.
They can slide in my DMs for sure. but-
Hey, bro, you ain't putting it down. Maybe you ain't got a job and you putting it down. I
Oh
don't know.
nope, don't want it.
Women always be fucking. They say the niggas who ain't working got the good dick.
I'll never find out because
So you need a nigga that's working.
Yep.
That's how I feel about women. Pussy ain't good if it ain't worked.
I'm with it.
I'm serious.
I'm with it.
So, like, what made you cry? Like, was it good? Like, what? We gotta make sure, like, no boundaries was
It was
crossed.
good for sure. Oh no, it was.
But, like, what
all
made
consensual.
you cry? Like, was it just like the best nut, or do you always cry? You just real emo?
No. Listen, no. If everybody who knows me knows I'm not emotional at all. Like
You don't seem emotional.
I'm not. But it was.
We looking for detail.
I mean, I don't know what else to say. Like he put the thing down, flipped it, and reversed it. You know?
Oh, okay. So it was the joy of the
It's
practice
yearn
of
from
sex.
spring it.
I had a friend
wasn't
tell me
any-
that she drew on that nigga's shoulder while he was fucking her, and I'm like, when you say drew, she's like a baby, like a dog. Like she said it was slob. I'm like, that's the
I'm trying to
weirdest shit.
figure out how to like that. So like his shoulder was like here, and then she was
Like he was
missionary or
holding her,
something.
and she was just, it was all hanging out.
I can see it. I can see that.
I was just like,
I can see it
wow.
now.
Definitely.
So you was crying. When was the last time you cried?
I would say it was Wednesday. It was probably the last time I cried during sex.
Does that happen often for you?
It actually does. It does. I cry during sex.
Are you
often.
emo?
No, he says such nice things to me during sex that I get a little
That's probably the
teary-eyed.
other thing too. Yeah.
Like I get a little
Wow.
teary eyed.
So-
He says such nice things to me.
Last week, she hates waking up. My girl hates waking up like early in the morning because she doesn't work like a 9 to 5 type job. So I wake up and it's like 6:45. I get my yoga stretches in, and then I start working or whatever. So sometimes I like to fuck before I work. Like
Who
to
doesn't?
get my day started. But that doesn't really mesh well with a motherfucker that ain't really needing to get up. So you really asking for a favor. It takes some love to get that, you know. And then also you got to get the juices running for a motherfucker that ain't getting up.
For sure.
I was just telling her like how beautiful she was and how much I appreciated her and how much I cared for her. And oh my God, I just realized like, God damn, like she got so fucking wet. And she got so wet that it really started tearing me up because I felt like I was in heaven. Like it was literally that sound is how my dick felt in this pussy. And I said, wow. And the only reason I didn't really cry was because when I looked up, my dog was staring at me. And it fucked it all up. Boma just
You gotta focus.
No, look.
You gotta focus. Don't look at the dog.
He threw you off your groove? I'm sorry.
No,
I be
honestly,
forgetting that Boma
my
is a
dick
girl.
was still in rhythm. But my mental was.
Were you making eye contact with the dog as
I
you was
think
thrusting
so.
it in?
That's
there?
what
No.
it
That's
sounded
kind of
like.
creepy.
No, because if you make
I don't
eye
like it.
contact, she tries to get in the bed. One time she was licking.
Oh my God, does she think she can join?
No, she tried to lick Sailor Moon's
licked your
locks.
booty hole?
No, my rest in peace to Max. No, it wasn't Max. El Chapo. That I had with my
Your dog
ex.
be
You
licking
used to
your
put
feet?
peanut butter on your feet, didn't you?
No, I
Yeah.
actually no. I reported this bitch on Snapchat because she's a bitch. You only use the word bitch when you
Oh
mean.
no, I understand.
She put peanut butter on her pussy.
Oh,
and
shit.
she got the
Stop.
same job
That's
that you
off
got,
limits. That's
JG.
real.
Oh my God, why would you say this?
And so I reported her, and this is gonna fuck y'all up. She was black.
I want y'all
Oh.
to go to hell.
Oh my God,
I
I
was
am
like,
more
look,
traumatized than she was.
you know what? You know what made me feel
Okay.
bad about this? I reported her, and I said, "Well, damn, that's animal abuse, right?"
That's very much so.
I will be
bestiality.
honest.
Bestiality,
I will be
all that
honest.
shit.
I will be honest. What kind of dog you got, JG?
I want to throw up.
Ve-
This was the happiest looking Shih Tzu I've ever seen in my life. This nigga,
Because it was sopping up peanut butter and pussy. You ever seen a nigga eat pussy and be mad?
I want to tweet that. I'm about to tweet that shit.
You don't never see a nigga fucking eating this
Have you
fucking
ever-
pussy.
Never.
Like,
Never.
actually,
I know niggas.
I was about to eat some pussy, and I call her American Street. It was the biggest bush I've ever seen in my life. Like I took.
And you was happy eating that bush.
No, I didn't eat it, and I don't mind bushes. Actually, the older I get, the more I like bushes. But this wasn't a bush. Like this was a bush. Like you could definitely lock it. Same
It was a
day.
shrub.
Yeah, you could lock
some
this
shrubbery.
bush.
I'm sorry, sir. Did you say you could lock her bush?
Yes, same day. It was like,
Same day.
lock.
Did you like her bush?
No, nigga.
You should offer that
I
service.
fake came.
You should offer that service.
You fake came.
Unlocked her bush.
It was
Come
too
locked
hot.
her bush.
No, she had like this old. It was her mama's bed, and she had this old.
Y'all
It was
fucked
an
on her
older.
mama, bitch.
Oh, it was
This
a bungalow.
story is
She was
going so many
babysitting her
places.
brother, who I can't go into detail because
Can
that's
we
too
stop?
much detail.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So, but it was
I
just
need
so
to figure
hot
that
up
story
there
out.
that I felt like it was the
Hot
heat
up
stroke
there.
about to come. So
Hot up in her pussy or just?
no, it was so hot in
Oh,
there, and it was the
gotcha.
wintertime. But her house was so fucking hot, I felt like I was gonna die, and a sweat bullet had dropped on her eye, like right here. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm a fake cum." So I was just, "Oh, it was so good. I'll see you later." And I went back to the house party that I was at before I left.
You know what?
Yeah, but yeah, that was me crying. You know, talking about crying in the pussy, American Street Bush. But I wanted to talk. I brought that up because I want to talk about words of affirmation, and it's
My
crazy
shit.
because I'll admit, Alessa and I had the conversation a couple weeks ago, and even though I always said stuff, I said I should really focus on that and see like what happens. Excuse me, because I feel like I don't like to really talk about shit and not try shit out. I had to burp and I didn't want to burp on the mic.
I feel like you should have just burped on the mic.
Okay, because
honestly.
I didn't know what the fuck was coming out.
Yeah, I was
said,
a little nervous.
Oh no, I never thrown up before in my life.
That's a lie.
I've never thrown up. I'm
Okay.
serious. JG's party with me. For
You
like
realize
20
you
years.
were a baby, so you had to have thrown up.
Never threw up.
Going on with your words of affirmation.
What? What do you want me to do?
Let's just go on to words of
I know
affirmation.
people never believe me, but I'm serious.
Sure, okay.
You've thrown up on somebody as a baby for sure.
I'm sure you don't remember ever
After
throwing
2,
up.
I know for sure I never threw up.
Okay.
in my
Okay,
life.
I'm gonna let you believe that story. about yourself.
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna let you believe that pleasant anecdote for sure. Go
I mean, it
ahead.
ain't no big deal if whatever, man. Look, back to this. So, like, with words of affirmation, like, what do y'all like during sex? Like, what is it that do you want the person to talk about you sexually, your body, like your mental? Do you want him to just be like, when he in your pussy jam, like, do you want him to be like, I love how hard you work for other companies doing that PR
Please don't
work?
say that.
Like, so, like,
I'm gonna push you off. I'm gonna put my clothes on and I'm gonna go.
I don't want to tell my girl, like, I love the way you stir that body butter, bitch. Like, I don't like.
That's a little sexy though. I like that.
I like that.
Don't tell me how hard I work for people. I don't want to hear that shit. You can tell me you love me. You can tell me how good I feel. That's pretty much it. That's all I need to hear.
So what's the most awkward
Oh,
position
no, I
y'all
need,
been in? Like,
compliments.
during.
Tell me how beautiful I am. Tell
No,
me
see,
how.
that's when I'm really gonna start crying.
Tell me
Don't-
what you admire about me. I admire your confidence. I admire this.
I'm gonna think
admire
we
that.
go together after that.
I love the
so.
way you scream when I choke you and I don't hear shit.
That's another word. Those are words of affirmation.
Just choke
like,
me.
just,
Don't say you like. Just do it.
You look like you like to. You look like you choke back.
Like,
Smile.
tell me
Let
what you
get that
like
smile
about
real
me.
quick.
Yeah. These
I call her
eyes.
Jim the choke backer. Okay.
Damn, the
Whoa.
Especially with the nails, you know, they like that.
Girl,
shit,
yeah,
you
they
know?
like that shit.
You be finger popping booty holes too.
No, not with these nails. These cost a lot of money.
So what's the like most wild shit you've been doing while getting words of affirmation?
The wildest shit.
Because Alessa was eating ass when she got some words of affirmation before. Like he was riding her face and he's just like, I just love the way you treat me. Like,
Oh, that's so nice. I don't know. I really be thinking I'm like vanilla as fuck. So this is why
That's what
I've
I thought
never
when I
like
booked
tried
you.
to be on the show. Cause like I don't really be doing shit. I mean,
that's why we got you on. We want you to start doing some shit.
I be trying.
Get a
I
finger
think
up your ass.
that's not normal. Like that's not a part of regular sex.
2 fingers up your ass.
That's not a part of regular.
A dick up your ass once a week.
Once a week, nah. No, we ain't doing no fist, nah. Jesus
A
Christ.
fist is too much work. I mean, a dick every so often, but I told you I don't really like.
I'll
dick
never
sex.
forget this
I don't
chick.
like that movement. I like to use things.
A chick in our high school, yeah, it was so sad. It was crazy because she's a nice person now, but she was so evil back then. But her boyfriend and her broke up, and he made a page like with her name on Facebook and added everybody from school, and then posted like her news and like it had her whole fist up her thing. And I'm like, to this day, like I be thinking about it every blue moon because it's like I'm
He should go
12
to
years.
jail.
Who?
Yeah.
No, he did go to jail.
Oh, good.
Yeah, like he got charged and everything, but
Oh,
she was out of
great.
school for like a month. But it just to this day it makes me think. I never met a woman that could put her fist up her vagina. So how was baby girl doing this shit at 16?
Oh, I wasn't paying attention to what you were saying. God.
But he zoned out. Okay.
I never
he got these
forget.
headphones on too. So
I'm not
how
gonna say
he
his
zoned
name.
out?
No,
No,
listen,
no.
I was like looking at somebody sent me a gift, but it was like I'm listening and I'm like, this story sound familiar. And I'm like, when you said the fist, I was like, oh, because this was like,
Yikes.
yo, this is bad.
No,
This
I'll
was
never forget. A teacher wanted to know what happened.
these are the first news that I've ever seen or heard.
Yeah, my
being
first
leaked.
news was definitely
this is my
revenge porn
first
in high
moment.
school.
Yeah, this was like a
Definitely revenge porn in high school. Videos, bitches sucking dick, hairy bushes.
And it was weird.
Was it the same lady who
Damn,
could
I
get
hope
her
that don't
bush
nobody
knocked
that I
up?
go to high school with listen
No,
to
I don't know what school that girl went to. I'll text and ask her.
Ooh.
No, she probably not gonna text back.
Yeah, I would say don't text her no shit.
No, not that girl. But no,
Oh.
It's so
I'll
much
never
happening.
forget the teacher asking, because it's like, how do you be like, yeah, Mr. Such and Such,
No,
such and such is
as
out.
a teacher, this happens. So it's I don't
JG
need
a
to,
teacher, if y'all know.
I don't need
I
to
know.
see anything.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't need to see anything.
Please
Tell
don't
me what
look.
happened so I can go help whoever, because it's happened to guys in school too. Like he was like,
Sharon Dix.
man,
Dick
like,
pics in high school.
and but what was happening was I guess girls had seen better than what he was offering, and exactly. So imagine your dick going around the school and it's
And they
like,
talk about how small it is.
Yeah.
Damn.
so it's like,
Was they calling him disability dick?
Oh my God, ring the bell.
you can't do that to the kids. dog. You can't do that to the kids. But
do they get kicked out? Like once they find a culprit, do that person get kicked out or just suspended? I feel like you got to kick the motherfucker out for some revenge porn.
Usually they go to jail. That's a felony.
It's a hard
Yeah.
bag.
Like that's
yeah.
illegal.
Hard.
Yeah, the her boyfriend was out of high school, and because it was weird. It's weird telling your teacher like, yeah, such and such had her fist up her pussy. So when
I
we
don't
sent
think you
it
gotta
to him,
tell all.
well, not sent it, but when somebody like turned their camera around, I was like, here it is. I've never seen so much. How can I explain this? This is not to make him look bad because I didn't think of it like in a negative way, but I've never seen somebody look so disgusted yet. Wait, let me see this. No, he wasn't aroused, but he's like, I could tell, like, now looking back at it as a dog, he was like, whoa, but at the same time, he's like, damn, bitch, is that an entire fist? Like, I could tell, like, this was, you was in that class when he saw it. What, am I lying?
I was there.
Like, I swear his his reaction was like, he didn't say it because he was a teacher, but I know now as an adult, he truly
had
Mac?
questions.
Huh?
It was Mac, right?
No, Adams.
Oh yeah.
It was like that that kombucha girl meme. It was like,
Yes, exactly
Yeah.
that. Like, oh, that's a whole fist, bitch.
First time
like,
I tasted cum,
Nah, that it's like, and it was so unfortunate. Like,
I didn't think that was gonna come through.
I was.
Okay, listen, I'm the kombucha girl now. Like, huh?
What?
Hmm?
First
You never
time I
tasted cum? Yeah.
I have. I'm just saying. Was
Last
it
night?
No.
Oh, so if he ain't your nigga, you ain't tasting.
I mean, I was just trying to hurry up and get to the business, so we ain't like. I
My
went
girl
down
do
there
that, and like I really get into my dick giving bag off of me getting excited from giving head. So I think sometimes when she jump into the business, it don't let me put out my best work because you, like, yes, you want to jump into the business, but sometimes, and I get that, I do that too, men do that too, but sometimes let's take a step back. Let me get a little nipple on, and then
Right.
let me get that dick all up in you.
Right.
That's how I look at it.
I'm trying to get you where you need to go, and then you get me where I need to go.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. For the most part, I'm always sucking dick. That's always happening. For sure.
You suck dick?
Dick is a
Burn,
person.
burn, burn,
When was the last time you sucked dick?
A few days ago.
When was the last time you sucked dick?
Yesterday.
Ryan, when was the last time you ate ass?
Oh Lord.
Ryan, how you got braids and you don't eat ass?
What? How do those correlate?
If you got braids in 2020, you eat ass.
they're
That makes
actually
sense.
2-strand flat
Every
twists, not
nigga,
braids.
every nigga I know with braids does eat
2-strand
ass.
flat twist.
Ryan, don't you ever say that out loud again.
2-strand flat.
I have
they
no-
clean-
Listen, now I'm
And they
looking. I'm
clean as
looking.
fuck, though,
Okay,
too, like they
the
clean
parts
as fuck.
are pristine.
He's like-
Okay,
My wife did my hair yesterday.
I was just about to
Say
ask, like,
it.
did your wife do your hair good? 'Cause
come on.
They clean. They clean.
Very nice.
I never forget my girl stopped doing my hair once because I farted.
2-strand flat twist.
That's the name
Just
of
in
this
case y'all
episode.
bitches didn't know.
There
Low
are
key,
so many names
that's,
in this
that's low key
episode.
that's low key what American Street could have got in her hair. Her bush.
Let's. What was the what?
Okay,
question
'cause
are
we all
on?
off
'Cause,
topic.
Like, what's going on?
I'm sorry.
Because
We having fun. I like
we are
this.
having
Just
we're having a
regular
great time. This is
conversation.
some great rapport.
It was
I
cold
appreciate
outside. I wore sweats, but it's not cold
I
in
know I
here.
got on long sleeves.
I feel like
and
turtle right now.
Uh-oh.
But look, I got a question.
Okay.
Would you fuck me?
You personally?
Yeah.
No.
All right. I wasn't expecting you to say yes, but I was expecting a lot. Like you wasn't supposed to say no so harshly.
I thought I said it so nice.
She's like, ask me in return. Let me show you how you did it. Come on, let me just show you how you did it.
I'm scared.
No, let me show you how to do it.
All right, would you fuck me?
No.
I didn't chuckle first.
She didn't chuckle.
Okay, all right.
She
I-
said, like
just
you
said-
personally.
no.
Yeah, she's like me personally. I was like, yeah, no.
There was no
Bitch.
chuckle.
Like that's how.
Everybody's gonna hear it.
Stop
I
being
didn't chuckle.
sensitive. Stop being sensitive.
I'm sorry. I'm just fucking with you. No, I wasn't meaning in literal sense. But since you had asked, I said I just asked. But the reason why I asked that is because I was thinking about it. I was having a conversation with a lesson. I was like, I think people should start asking that question. Like, I
Oh,
think
of
that
course.
communication,
Definitely.
and it shouldn't like a nigga just randomly like a Q walking up in the club to a random person saying, "Would you fuck me?" Like that's a little wild.
I mean, that I don't even think they do that. They just be in there eating air pussy. So
That's the name of the episode. They just be in there eating air pussy.
So
I be so confused. Like, And bitches really be liking that shit. And I just be like, what?
I'm not aroused.
What
I'm
you
not
just
aroused.
What?
Was that you? Somebody was just with some cues on my timeline.
That was
No,
this-
I
Oh
seen
no,
it
no,
on-
it was me.
What made me say that? I
They
seen
be
it
up
on
in there eating
Twitter.
their pussy, and I just be sitting there like, what the fuck?
Hey, look, if it's any
It's
cues
funny
at my
'cause you
wedding
just
and they
seen-
start eating air pussy, I'm kicking them out.
Bruh, it's,
You better ask for permission and take her to the bathroom, fam. This is bullshit. But no, the reason I said that is because what?
Continue.
I mean, I have a little bit of a question. Like, y'all just be eating pussy and ass in the club? Because I know somebody who has done it, but
I've never had sex in the club. Have I had like met somebody and ate them out? Yeah, I took a risk.
in the vicinity of the party.
No, I'm a little prissy. I prefer to
Yes.
get a hotel room.
Okay.
I've definitely got my pussy eaten in the club.
In the club.
Man,
what
like-
club? Minjo's?
Y'all don't need to know what club. Y'all don't need to know when.
No,
but I
no,
done
no. We
definitely
won't
got my
ask when, but
pussy
tell us
ate
the
in
club. Tell us the club.
I got my pussy ate in the club.
Tell
Was
us
it
the
to the
club.
song?
It wasn't here. It
What's
wasn't
the
in
Usher
Detroit.
song?
Okay, tell us the club.
Was the
I don't
Usher
remember
song
the name
playing?
of the club.
You a
No, that's
goddamn
just-
lie.
I don't remember. I was out of town. I don't remember the name of the club, and I'm not gonna say where I was. But I have got my pussy eaten in the club.
Was you in the booth?
No,
You was in the bathroom?
no, I was like literally up on like a windowsill. Basically.
What did you wear?
Oh my god.
I had a dress on.
So,
No, I
that
had
nigga
on a
was, so
skirt.
that nigga was eating salt and vinegar pussy.
For sure. Because I have been walking around all day, too.
Farting and shit.
Walking around all day. He had some seasoned pussy in his mouth in the club.
seasoned.
You know niggas like
That
that.
Old Bay
I know they like
seasoning
it. I
on
know they
there.
like it.
You had
Look.
Old Bay on there?
Look, I mean, I had a seafood
Let me
boil.
find out you put some Tony shit. Oh my god. It
My
was
girl
fried
had
trout.
the Old Bay seasoning on his head.
I had a seafood boil.
What would y'all do if y'all
Yeah.
niggas said I want you seasoned like they want you to like, you know, work out and then
Go
like,
run
eat
around
it?
the block a few
I'm
times.
not gonna work out. I'm not comfortable like having like very sweaty vagina and then doing what I have to do. Like I'm gonna get in the shower first. But I mean, if I'm just it's throughout the day, regular shit.
Give them that all day pussy.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm giving some niggas some after work pussy for sure. You getting this?
Would you let a nigga eat your ass after you like and you took a bad
I've
shit?
never had my ass eaten. Sorry,
Ma'am,
I know.
Never?
get with the winning team, bro. What you mean you ain't never had your ass eaten?
I've never had my ass eaten. I was watching something the
Get
other
out.
day though, and I saw like how close the your butthole is to your vagina, and I was like,
So
well, how ain't
close.
nobody just slip down there? I could see how it could happen.
You be fucking with vanilla niggas.
Yeah.
They
That's,
scared to
Hey,
eat the
nasty
beef.
niggas, I want y'all to slide
They scared to eat the
into
beef.
Jam's DMs. I don't want you fooling out. I want you to
Yeah.
gently slide in.
I ain't gonna say
Be
say
cordial.
vanilla.
Be cordial, niggas. Don't be hopping in my girl DMs.
Matter of
on
fact,
some
I want
wild
you to
shit.
text the nigga you was with yesterday right now and say,
Mm-hmm.
why you never ate my ass, such and such?
I probably just never allowed him to. Like he.
What do you
probably-
mean?
Triple
though.
dog dare you to ask him right now via text.
What's the question?
Why you ain't never
Let's
eat my
say his
ass?
name is Darnell. Darnell.
No,
Out
that's
of
my
curiosity-
cousin name. Nope. Pick another one.
Chris.
Jebediah.
Oh, I like Jebediah.
Jebediah.
go.
Out of curiosity, why have you never eaten my ass during our sexual encounters?
Out.
I can type it.
Nope. Because I don't want you to see who it is.
I know him.
Probably.
You think you know everybody?
I do.
no, it's not hard to know everybody in the city.
It's
Yeah,
really not
it's
hard
not
to know
like
everybody in the
it-
city, honestly.
It's like,
You may not know him
Honestly
personally,
and
but you've seen him.
truly,
Where I seen him at?
I ain't gonna tell you all
None
that.
of your business.
Anyway,
Stay on my girl
You ever
business,
think about
man.
being a unicorn?
a unicorn.
Yeah.
I dressed like a unicorn on my birthday.
How you
Wait.
dress like a unicorn?
My dress was like real rainbow shit,
You don't know what a unicorn is.
An actual unicorn.
I don't know what you talking about.
Oh, a unicorn is like a girlfriend
The
or a
perfect
boyfriend to a
third.
couple.
The perfect third.
I'm too greedy for that. Mm-mm.
Really?
Understand?
Say it's just enough stamina to
I
go
can
around.
see that. You seem greedy.
If it's mine, it's gonna be mine.
Do you
seem
like women?
spoiled.
Mm-mm.
You
I'm
never,
very spoiled.
You never
I
kiss a
can
girl?
Mm-mm.
Lick the clit?
Mm-mm.
Would you finger a clit?
Boring.
Would you look at a woman naked?
Mhm.
Would you kiss a woman?
Mm-mm.
So if I triple dog dare you to kiss Alessa, you wouldn't kiss her
She wouldn't.
for
Boring.
$1,000. Shit.
Show me that cash money.
Right.
$1,000 ain't gonna go nowhere. Like you got
shit,
to
it'd
give
go
me.
further. Shit, I kiss
Shit.
Alessa for $1,000.
I ain't got it, but I'll do it.
I kiss you for $1,000. Get 5 of my girls, she wouldn't even trip. Shit, if a nigga said all she had to do was kiss her for $1,000, she better shoot him. But look, we're gonna keep going with the episode. Now, Jam, I want you to tell me why you make this face.
We're exhausted.
Continue. Go ahead. Go ahead, friend. Just go ahead.
Thank you, bestie. Jam, I want you to tell me about the organization that you work with.
So I work with the Sasha Center. It is a nonprofit organization.
Shout out to the Sasha Center.
Period. It's a nonprofit organization based here in Detroit that focuses on holistic healing for African American sexual assault survivors. And I really want to hone in on the fact that we cater to African American people because it's about, you know, our whole experience. Like, it's a whole bunch of shit that goes into sexual assault, especially for Black people. We have our own model that we put out. It's called the Black Women's Triangulation of Rape, and it talks about systemic racism. It talks about slavery and, you know, just all the bullshit we have to face as Black women on top of being sexual assault victims. So, yeah, that's the Sasha Center.
So, and you could put up the notes for the questions.
For sure.
I'll allow you to actually use your phone now.
Oh, thanks. That's so sweet. You are so kind.
No
A
problem.
doll.
You got to keep them in check like that sometimes. Just
That's
playing.
okay, because I'm beating your ass after the show.
Oh, Black Jesus.
Help me. Speaking of that, so the reason why I wanted to bring you on the show was I felt like I should have someone that's more in that lane to be on the show to have this type of conversation and talk about abuse, period. Like level 1 to level 10, you know, whatever, sexual assault, domestic violence, verbal abuse, whatever you want to call it. And I wanted to I have questions of my own, and I have questions that people have asked me that I've answered, but I felt like you would be more so, what's the words that I'm looking for? You would be more so aligned to answer these questions properly. And my goal today is, even though we talked about sex, had a little goofy time, my true goal today is to have a conversation about these things with you guys in here, and Ryan can tune in, and JG can chime in, and we all just discuss these things and just kind of take a step forward as allies and as victims together. I don't know about you guys as victims, but I know I have been a victim of assault to a lesser degree, and I know some people who have come into my DMs and told me stories that I won't share in details, but has gone as far as gang rape and as small as like assault, like my situation. But like I said, level 1
don't
through 10.
minimize what happened to you. I think that's the biggest thing that I have to tell people, because like I do it to myself. Like, even though I was not like physically assaulted, I definitely realized that, you know, back when I was 16, I was being groomed. And I don't think people see that as sexual assault, but it's just a weird, creepy feeling. And what I have to do is I have to give space for myself and what happened to me. Because, you know, you said something like level 1 to level 10, like assault is assault. Abuse is abuse. So, you know, you have to give space for yourself, whether you think it was, you know, small or not. It still happened to you. You still have to heal from that. You still have to deal with that trauma. So if anybody that's listening, you feel like, oh, well, he just touched my ass without my permission, or he kissed me without my permission, that nigga was wrong.
For sure.
And you just have to accept what happened to you, and you have to learn how to move past it and give yourself space to do that.
Now, I'm sorry, I had to put my hair in
Okay,
the
I said,
phone.
oh shit, it's about to get serious.
And I'm just going to throw in, stories at you. That's how I
Okay.
explain things and have conversations with people, is through stories and analogies.
Come on, storyteller.
What about, I had a friend and she was telling me how she doesn't like for guys to ask stuff like that. And I told her that, to me, that's setting the wrong precedent. If guy A, let's say Bob, is with you and you don't like that type of stuff, and he learns that from you, and then he has that same energy with Alessa, but Alessa likes to ask for permission, he could technically potentially assault Alessa and not know to a certain extent.
Right.
Obviously, as a grown-ass man, you know at a certain point when you've gone wrong. Same thing with women, but what I explained to her was maybe you should take a step back from those actions to protect others as well.
For sure.
And
Definitely, because consent is very important when it comes to
Very.
any type of sexual encounter that you're going to have. There needs to be consent on all parties' part.
And I've actually been told that that's weird, like that I ask questions. Can I have sex with you?
not weird at all.
Like somebody asked me to come over. Should I bring condoms? I was told, why the fuck would you ask that? You would have got some pussy if you ain't asked that shit. I'm like, Well, I would like to know.
That ain't the girl for you.
That makes no
that's
sense.
Next.
And I feel like we should.
Like, cause did she have condoms? What the
Right,
fuck?
like how was I supposed to know if you had condoms,
And
baby?
even
Like
if you
I'm
did have
asking because I
condoms,
want to make
say
sure
your
I'm
condoms ain't
prepared.
work for my dick
Like,
or fit.
so do you just not carry condoms though?
Who, me? I'm in a committed relationship, so she gets this raw dick. She gets the veins and all.
I ain't seen the condoms since like 2010, to be honest.
Understandable.
Here's one. Oh, it feel all slippery.
Okay.
Again, don't even
That's
look
mine.
at them.
Give
Give
her
her-
back.
Sorry.
Shit.
Sorry.
Niggas always trying to steal.
Yeah, but you ever suck a dick with a condom on it?
Boring.
That's stupid.
I'm just making sure, sound like prostitution head to me, but no judgment.
Black Jesus. But back to the topic. Yeah, like I don't think I require people to ask when we're in it. Like I give the verbal permission. Like I tell you what I want you to do. So you have the consent. You don't even got to ask for it. I'm telling you where to go, what to do, when, how, all of that. But I mean, it's not unsexy. That's not a word, but we're going to use it today. It's not unsexy to ask. Like I feel like if you ask me, that's probably going to make me a little bit more, slippery, because you're taking your time to ask. You're taking your time.
Consideration.
It's the consideration of it all. Like, you're trying to take care of me while we're in the moment.
Consent is sexy. Consent is very sexy.
Very sexy.
Can I slowly fuck your mouth, Alessa?
No.
But see how I ask, guys? You gotta
ask like that. You can't just be like, can I slowly fuck your mouth? Like, no. I'm gonna be like, you know what? No, you can't. Just don't do anything.
Yeah. Now,
Try again. Do it again.
Yeah.
See if you can do it better.
Hey, Alessa, how you doing?
Not that great.
I'm so sorry to hear that. I think you would do better if you would give me permission to slowly fuck your mouth. Can I get that, please?
You gotta
I
ask
humbly disagree, so no.
Oh, Blake.
All right, well, I will no longer ask again, Alessa, because I would feel like if I asked the third time, it would be creepy.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's another thing.
Third time is not the charm.
I've
It's
seen
not
niggas
when it comes to
ask
consent.
1,000 times, and I've seen
That's
men,
pressure. That's
Yeah.
pressure.
That's
That's
coercion.
pressure. That's
Women-
coercion. Yeah.
I've
coercion.
seen women like. I'll say this. I'm gonna just be honest. I know I have majority female friends, and they get unsolicited news like a motherfucker. Women have
Don't we
sent me
all?
That's sexual
unsolicited
assault, too.
news.
That's what I'm saying. Don't we all? Women do it to men. Men do it to women.
Man,
Everyone.
it was crazy.
crazy.
I was talking to a chick about sexual assault, and the next thing I know, it was an unsolicited nude in my shit.
I'm sorry that happened to you, Brandon.
And I mean, I'm not tripping on that. I'm just simply stating that these things
What the
They
happen.
happen. They
What
do
the
happen. Like
fuck?
because that's so. Read the
happens to
room,
all of
bitch.
us.
Like read the room.
Yeah.
Why would you do something like that?
At this point, you thought it was appropriate.
Okay.
To send
like he
your
mentioned
coochie?
he mentioned that he was sexually assaulted or I was receiving some out of pocket news and all of a sudden here you come with
And
some
then
titties
bam,
out.
coochie. Like, the fuck?
What?
And let's talk about aggression, like being aggressive, because it's a thin line. And I'll
It's
admit,
a very
it's a lot
thin
of these
line.
things are thin lines. I do like more so aggressive women. Please, I'm not saying this in a negative way, but I've noticed that majority of the women that are extremely aggressive in my situations have also happened to not be extremely attractive. So
I knew that's where this was going and I was really
I did
kind of
too.
hoping
I
that
was hoping
it
he was
wasn't.
gonna turn left.
I was hoping that it wasn't
Just
gonna
let
go
me finish
there.
it. Let me finish it. And because I mean, guys have hit on me, but
Ooh.
yeah, but that's neither here nor there right now.
Okay, here for
But
girls.
when it comes to, I've heard the same thing from women, so it's not a Brandon thing. Like the more, like they said, the more good looking a guy is, in more cases, the less aggressive he is with it because he feels
Because
like
he be getting pussy thrown at him, yeah.
yeah. So the point I'm making is, it's nothing wrong with being aggressive. Some people like that, but how do you determine that line of, I took it a step too far, or I need to stop at this line?
Read the
I'm
fucking
constantly
room.
checking myself because I'm an aggressive bitch. So I'm
I'd
constantly.
be like, oh shit, girl, why would you just say that to him?
I am right. Like I
Hey,
am
so you check your
constantly
friends?
checking. No,
I
she's
check
talking about
myself.
herself. Like I'm constantly checking myself. I have to do that with my friends. I'll be like, oh look at you, titties. Wait, I'm sorry. And I do that to my gentleman friends.
Mm-hmm.
Like damn thighs. Oh, you know what? My bad. I was just about to touch you, and I would definitely slap the shit out of you if you touched me. So
Yep.
I have to.
Yep.
I constantly am constantly checking myself, trying not to be, trying not to be as misogynistic as these men can be towards me.
Yeah.
I've seen some of the weirdest misogyny, like on Twitter. Like I feel like Twitter is like the misogyny.com sometimes.
Oh, on Twitter, I'm a man hater. I mean, I'm a man hater in real life, but
Like I've seen some
on Twitter,
wild
it's way
shit.
more apparent.
But so yeah, seriously, like how do you?
No, I hate these niggas.
Is it coming back from this shit? Like you just stated that you can't. I don't want to put words in your mouth, so if I paraphrase, you know, forgive me. But where like it shouldn't be like a level, like assault is assault. So if someone's a little bit too aggressive, or if someone grabbed my hair, or someone asked to peg me, or if someone sexually abused me, or any of those things, is it a way to get back from those things, or beat me, or hit me, or verbally abuse me? Any of those things, is it a way to come back from that? To rehabilitate.
I think when you're talking about the person, it's up to the survivor of it. You know, some people are able to forgive the people that abuse them. I ain't that bitch. And I'm saying that it's nothing wrong if you do forgive that person. I'm just saying personally, it's not me. Like the person that groomed me, I don't talk to him. He still has access to like my social medias and stuff, so I'm not gonna be like completely cut him off. But my ex, he was emotionally abusive, verbally abusive, fucking blocked. And I mean, I hope and pray that, you know, he learned from our situation and he grew from it, but it's no coming back with me. So
do you think that people can learn from their situations?
I hope they do.
Like example, because a lot of people that listen to the show are from Detroit.
Shit.
I would say like
I hope that nigga get his ass beat in Atlanta, if that's what we talking about.
I mean, that too, for
Who
sure.
y'all
I
talking
hope
about?
that nigga.
Who you talking about?
No, I told you not to even bring that shit up for real.
I'm not going there. And you just went there.
Ooh.
So
y'all always talking about the same person.
that's what y'all thought we were talking about, B-Hunt?
Yeah. I don't know what she was talking about.
Okay, listen.
Okay.
That's a topic off air.
But yeah, I hope he gets ass beat when he go to
sure.
Atlanta.
For sure, he deserves
Because he
it.
hasn't learned.
Pray don't.
No.
He hasn't learned. He hasn't tried to learn. He hasn't tried to reform, and I think that that's one of the bigger parts of it. Like,
And you keep
'cause
bringing
like you
your
said-
ass on social media showing
Exactly.
us that you're an asshole.
exactly, and like
different.
you said, it's in the survivors' eyes what that forgiveness and what that reform looks like, and he has not taken any accountability for his actions. He hasn't admitted to anything. All he's done is beat around the bush and find ways around it.
You know, if
to
he-
continue to put himself in these situations where he's around.
If he just came on
Children.
social media
Like,
and
it's
he
ridiculous.
just posted about the stuff that he normally posted about, but just like I can see when someone's talking about me on Twitter, for any reason that they may, I can tell when he's talking about those situations with some of the stuff. That
You
he's-
always
He should
can.
have his
You
ex.
always can.
I'm blocked,
and that's
so
what
I
he
can't
wants.
see it.
Oh, I got an
That's
extra
what he
page.
I'm not doing all
I'll
that.
admit, I love.
I mean, I got an extra page too, but I'm blocked on
Yeah.
both.
I loved his Detroit stuff. Not to promote him, but like I love the stuff that he did, and I feel like if he never went to that and started talking all that shit, it wouldn't have turned into this. And it's crazy because when it first happened, because I've heard stories about people, and every person, I felt like I had a duty as every person whose number I had in my phone at bare minimum, all the way up to a friendship. I had a duty if I seen some shit to reach out, not to pry, not to
Yep.
disrespect them, say fuck them, but to reach out like, hey, this was stated about you.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
I texted.
What's going on?
Texted B-Hunt. Well, first I when he did his little apology, I retweeted it and I said, you know, that's not enough. And I was like, damn, you can't be called. If I have been associating with him, he's been in like work videos for me and shit like that. So I'm like, no, that ain't right. Let me go reach out to him personally. I'm pull up the text now.
And I feel like I'm glad you brought that up. I feel like it's no reason for somebody that knows somebody personally
I got blocked.
to ever reach out on social
media and
If-
it's such a public
yeah,
platform.
exactly. Because if you have an issue with somebody,
But I mean, I also understand that because at that point, like your associates, you're comfortable enough to talk to them on the timeline. So it's like, bro, like, what is this? So I mean, I understand how that can be like sometimes your first reaction because that's your first time seeing it, and you may not be able to take that step back immediately. But like she said, she did that. She realized what was going on. And she was like, you know what? No, let me reach
I
out to him
appreciate that. That sounds
because
like a
that's what I
mature
need to
adult.
do because that's like
that's not right.
We've
So-
associated with each other. I have this man's number. He's got my number. Let me call this man and see what's going on.
And you know the kind of shit that I'm on. You know what work I do. So the crazy thing is, I had reached out to him around April because I was doing the virtual fashion show for the Sasha Center. He didn't text back.
Oh, that was dope. I saw that.
Thanks. Then I texted him. I said, that statement ain't it, Chief. And this is me coming to you as a friend. If those allegations of you sniffing around little girls are true, I was probably a little mad when I wrote this. Which is why I
As
got
you
blocked.
should have been.
Nigga said Chief.
As you should
I
have
said,
been.
you need to own that and deal with the repercussions. I really hope they aren't true, but if they are, it's time to own up. The message was read and never replied to.
So my question is, because I reached out to him, I DM'd him, and I said, this was before his, like, when it first happened, like the first story. I said, hey, it sounds like some things have happened. I know that it's always 3 sides to a story. I would love to.
The exhaustion.
I get
so
it.
nice with it.
I
I'm
get
in
it.
his motherfucking text message like, fuck you, nigga. You a dirty ass dog. He's talking about, I know there's 3 sides
Oh, I
to
get
every
that.
story.
So when I reached out, I said, me having a sex podcast and it being an open forum, I will give you that space to give your side of the story. And I will take a step back and let you give this side of the story. He never responded. This was before anything.
He was trying to come Gail King on it. He was trying to come Gail King.
I don't know how I feel about that, actually.
No, don't hold that against me.
I'm
I've
not holding
heard-
it against you. I'm
No.
just.
If somebody states something and they truly have,
He has his own platform to issue that apology.
I can also offer my platform.
But
No.
I think what he's
No, you can't.
That seems
What-
that's not a good look on you.
I don't want you aligned with that.
Yeah.
That's not a
What-
good look on you to give this man a platform to give his side of a
Because
story
imagine what he would have
involving
did.
children.
You saw how he
you saw how he was
addressed it.
addressing it online.
Y'all
The-
completely just took a step
Yeah, the only
beyond what I said. I
think-
said before
thing he said before
any
it
of
came
this
out.
happened.
Yeah.
When the allegation first came out, before he said a word on anything.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. He
Well, I'm
wasn't.
just
Y'all
saying.
said
But he
hindsight
ignored it.
2020.
That's an action
You
right
key
there.
are still going fast forward.
Yeah,
He ignored you?
He talking about right
He
when it
ignored
happened.
you?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm stating literally I literally texted JG the day it came
very,
out.
like-
Like we were recording a couple days later. I literally said, "Hey, something happened. Let's talk about this."
To kind of go to what Brandon was saying, it was literally like when Twitter kind of went into calling out my accuser, like the beautiful day that was for the victims to like have the courage to do so. When that happened, he came up. Brandon immediately texted me. Brandon B.Smith, B.Smith immediately texted me, said, "I'm thinking about. I want to have him on to kind of say like talk about it. Not so much of the bullshit apology, not so much of ignoring it, not so we hadn't got there yet. So
Okay.
I get what you're saying. Even then, I think we kind of had a conversation where we kind of pushed back on it, like, wait, like you don't want to have the accused so much as the accusers to tell their story. Like you want
Agreed.
that's where. But I think we came to that decision like right after that same conversation. So
Yeah, like it was
Okay.
nothing beyond that. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
And
appreciate the
think that-
additional context on that
I
because
mean, he
and at
still
the
left
same
you on
time-
red.
off
so.
rip, it's just like you
And
don't.
Also, I think that whenever somebody does say something, you should actually hear them out before you throw that anger. Because I get the anger, I get the anguish. Before you throw that on, you should take a step back. And I'm not talking about the accused themselves. I'm talking about the person that wanted to bring them on the podcast or the person that took a step back. And to kind of get to a story, because I told you guys I was going to tell you a couple stories.
Storyteller.
Story time. July 4th, 2018.
In specific.
We went to, shout out to Connected by Lo. She had a taco, one of those twerking tequila events.
Yeah.
Oh, it was lit. Like, it was the way it was like she was giving like 50 free tickets away.
Are you
I got
sure it
like,
wasn't Cinco de Mayo? 'Cause
Yeah,
that
Cinco de
was
Mayo, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was her
I
first
don't
twerk.
remember
That
no,
was one of the first
it
twerk
was
tequilas.
it was 4th of July. I'm for sure of that.
I don't think
I don't know what the name
like
of the event
August
was.
4th or something.
No, it was.
Okay, whatever.
I know it was 4th of
We ain't
July,
gotta
but
get
neither.
into the
It was a
date.
Connected by Low event. We had a very great time. I had like 10 free tickets. All my friends went. I'm leaving. I'm on 6 Mile in Livernois, and I'm going towards Wyoming, and I'm passing a Family Dollar, and I have sounds in my truck. And My windows are down. My music is all the way up on level 33. That's the last level before it gets distorted.
Thank you. Take me for the visuals. Take me.
Yeah. And I hear a smack.
Oh.
Point that I'm throwing with this story is my music is loud as fuck.
And you still heard it.
And I'm zooted. And I heard this shit and I turn. And it's a nigga and a woman on the wall. And he's like all up on her. And I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? I was in awe. And he took her neck and he threw it up against the wall. It felt like, you ever play tennis against the wall and the ball bounced off the wall? That's how I feel like her head did. Yeah, racquetball. So I was like, I turned my music down. I'm like, hey, fam, stop that shit. And this had to be the longest red light in my life.
It sounds like
and
yeah, if it's right there at that Family
it might have
Dollar,
been
I'm
a
pretty
green
sure
light,
like
and I just
San
ain't
Juan
noticed
or
that shit.
something.
And so
San Juan is 6 Mile.
when it happened, I've never seen shit like that in my life. I'm an only child. I live in a 2-family household. I've never seen my parents interact in that way. I'll say that I'm a very privileged human being. I've never seen any type of anything, to be honest with you, to up to that point. And I've carried since the day I turned 21. The day I turned 21, I bought my first gun. I've always carried. And when I seen it, I was like, hey, fam, don't do that. And the first thing I thought was, what the fuck can I do? So I called 911. I said, hey, 911, I'm on 6 Mile and whatever the side street was. It's this guy. He's physically attacking this woman. You need to come now. And they say, okay, we're sending somebody. I hang up. And I'm like, I just called the police. You need to step away from her. I said, I swear to God, if you don't step away from her and you walk any closer to her, I'm going to turn this truck around. And he did. He called my bluff. I'm like, God damn, I got to do it now, right?
Your shit on
Yeah, I thought I would have, my voice was deep enough. I thought it was cool. No,
that
so shit happened. So I did a U-turn in my truck, and I turned onto half my truck's on the street, half my truck is on the sidewalk. And I got my hazards on. I jump out the truck. My man runs down the street. I didn't realize that the woman had a baby in her hands. And it was
saved
another
2 lives.
Yeah, so nigga, we not even there yet. And it was a woman there was a woman sitting down at this point at the bus stop as well. So I had my 380 on me. It holds 6 bullets. I put the wrong clip in. Yeah, it's really small gun. It can fit in the palm of my hand.
One in the chamber?
Okay.
Or does it just hold 6?
It's 6, 1 in the chamber.
Okay.
But I only had 2 bullets in there.
So that whole point was relevant.
No.
Okay.
So, but that's going to get to the story.
Okay.
So I'm talking to the girl. I'm like, hey, the cops are on the way. Are you okay? She's like, yeah, it's okay. You don't have to call the cops. I'm like, what do you mean? He just bounced your head against the fucking... I low-key probably sounded pissed. I'm like, he just bounced your head off the motherfucking building. What the fuck do you mean? And the chick was like, yeah, baby, that ain't good. I'm talking about the chick looked like she ran a marathon. She got a baby in her hands. Next thing I know, I look up. Oh, 2 other black dudes pulled up in the car. Was like, we just seen what happened. We was behind you. We went to go see where he went. And we seen him going to a house on the next block. So I'm like, all right, we good. Next thing I know, my man's is coming back down the street with another dude who has a gun in his hand.
Jesus Christ.
So I'm standing there. I had my gun in my pocket because I was like, that's a faster draw from the holster from the pocket than the holster. And I pulled my gun out. I got my gun pointed. They're at the other end of the block. And I haven't really told many people this story. I don't think I told the story on air. And I say to myself, well, 1, I only got 2 bullets. 2, I put the wrong clip in. But 2, they're pretty far away. Unless I get kill shots in on the guy who has the gun with a 380, which is a very small bullet.
Yeah.
And he's at least 3/4 of a block away. This is going to be a shootout. We got a woman, a baby, and another woman, and myself that can all get hit by this guy. So I say, I have a gun. I keep saying it, thinking, if I say I have a gun, because I don't know if he can see as clearly as me. Because whatever inebriation I had was gone.
It sounds
I
like
was sober as fuck. So I
sobering
turn.
as fuck.
So you got the Family Dollar. I kind of turn. I back up with my gun pointing. I turn. As soon as I turn, I'm out of the bullet's way. I call 911 again. I keep backing up. I'm near a couple rats and shit because I walked all the way back to the Family Dollar dumpster. And I call again. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck taking y'all so motherfucking long. But now the nigga came back with a nigga with a gun. This shit probably sound like a movie to them. They like, sir, and I admit they are calm as fuck. They were like, sir, the cops are on their way. Cops end up coming. I guess the cops, it was smart that they turned the sirens on because they ended up running.
Yeah, and there's a police precinct right there at 7 Mile and
Shit. Yeah, Livernois. But no,
They
it was
weren't
nowhere
going
near.
past the fucking
I
house.
thought it took all day. This whole ordeal was 3 minutes. It only took the cops 3 minutes to get there.
Are you kidding me?
All that story I told
That-
you.
Child,
Look,
I am sweating bullets in here.
In
All
times
that
of
time.
escalation, like in
It
emergency
seemed-
All that
preparedness, that
happened
shit
in 3
is
minutes.
within moments.
Time don't matter.
And so
It doesn't.
I'm probably gonna tell you something that y'all will disagree with.
okay.
My guy brother, who is a cop, told me to never do that. And the reason why he said that is because he said, you don't understand how many calls I get like this. And the woman will tell you,
You
that-
helped into that escalation. Like she
no, that random guy that claims he was trying to help me, I was perfectly fine. He was trying to beat us. He was trying to rob us, or he was trying to kill us. Or if you would have shot him, oh, this guy came up and shot him. Like, you just never know. And it said, it blew my mind when he told me that. Because it's like, how am I really supposed to help? Now, maybe I did save her life that night. Maybe I just saved her from a beating that night. But maybe at this point, because I think about it every time I drive past there, maybe at this point she's dead. We don't know. Maybe she's more abused. Maybe her child's now being abused. Maybe she finally got the strength to leave this man. And it made me think, the cops offered to take her. It was crazy because these cops, and that explains to you that cops don't have to kill. It's off subject if they don't want. These cops talked to me while I had a fucking gun in my hand and never felt threatened, nor never even told me to put the gun up. I didn't even realize the gun was in my hand until I stopped talking to them and walked back to my truck.
Child.
So the point I'm making to that side note, cops don't have to do shit unless
know
they
that.
want to.
if they're perfectly
Yeah.
if they're rightfully
And,
trained and they understand their
If
job.
they
sure.
got it right in their
Yeah.
mind.
Right.
And it was just a crazy situation because how do I still be an ally, but then also protect myself? Because after my god brother told me that, I mean, he's been on the force 25 years. I've actually did ride-alongs with him. I don't even like cops, but I've seen him act in interactions. I have to say that he's one of the good guys, you know? And it made me say to myself, well, damn, after he told me that, I don't feel comfortable doing what I did again. You get what I'm saying? Because it did make sense. I've seen this woman's interactions, and she refused the police's help. She wouldn't even let them take her anywhere. So it's, how do you help? And the reason I'm telling the story, because my question is, how do you help someone who doesn't want your help yet?
You still got to do it at the end of the day. Like you said, you know, she could have went back home that night. You might have saved her from that beating right there. You might have saved her from a beating that night. But at the end of the day, you can't stop helping people, even if they don't want your help. Because at the end of the day,
how do
you
you
say,
help them? Because you can't help them the same way.
I mean, what you did was right. I mean, maybe outside of calling the cops, you at least got him off of her at that moment. You saved her and that baby in that moment. Now, what she decides to do after that, it's totally up to her. It's up to her, or, you know, him, whoever it is, you know, who's being abused. It's up to you to finally walk away.
And what would you suggest to the women that do need to walk away? Like, what do you suggest that those steps would be? Like, he interfered as much as he possibly could in that moment. And I give you credit for staying there till
sure.
the end of that
For
interaction, because that's something that, like, I've been trained to do working in the sector that I work in, is that if you do absolutely feel obligated to help, you got to stay to the end.
Yeah.
Like, because you either act then and there and you stay to the end, or you report it as you're on your business and you just go and you go about your day.
Well, my godbrother
And
suggested.
so if you are going to act, you always should stay there. And I
For
do
sure.
commend you for staying there to the very end of that, till the police got there, till they were able to rectify the situation to the extent that they
like
could.
she refused a ride from me, put her
But
up in a hotel and everything.
what do you suggest to any women out there who may listen and who may be, also have another question for you. What are the signs for women to look for in that too? So, like, what are the signs for women to look for in abuse if they aren't, necessarily being physically abusive at this moment? Because there are telltale signs. There are definitely telltale signs. There are mental capacities that, people, and I say women, people, because anybody can be abused.
Men and women.
So what are what are some signs that you can give to those who may be being abused? And then what are some things that they can do to, take
away.
those steps to walk away in any step that they're in that abuse, whether it be mental before it gets physical.
Yeah.
So, like, what can we do?
That's the main thing. You have to think about what they're doing to you mentally. A lot of people don't talk about financial abuse. I think I want to say it's like Allstate or State
I've
Farm.
never fucking even thought about
It's
that.
one of those.
financial abuse.
It's a I think what's her name? Kerry Washington was the spokesperson, and now it's Serena Williams. But
Mary
it's
J. Blige got financially abused.
Yep.
Yep.
It's something called like the Purple Pocketbook Project or something like that. But they talk about financial abuse.
They're actually
they're
releasing
keeping-
a documentary
Elders,
on
too.
HBO soon.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The
People be
Star
abusing the
Wars,
shit
the black
out
woman
of.
that did Star Wars. I've read a whole story on that. Not to take away from you
Oh no,
talking
I'm
about
listening.
it, but
Lucas' wife?
no, she
Now
was
that's
in the
my
movie.
bitch. I'll be his ass.
No.
Are you talking about Star Trek? You talking about the
You might be
original?
talking about-
Star Trek.
okay, yeah.
Sorry.
You're talking about
He
my
ta- I know you're
girl,
talking
the
about-
original black woman on. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can't remember.
They were, her family is suing because of elder abuse, and now her son's involved. And this this guy came in and befriended her, and now he lives on the property. He signed a lot of the paperwork over to give him possession of a
that
lot of
happens
shit.
to a lot of stars. That happens to a
Yeah.
lot of
It
it
happened
happens
to
to a lot of child stars, and it happens to a lot of
this old white
stars
guy
with
went down.
disabilities too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
You really have to watch out for financial abuse.
Family members do it
you
too.
know, your
older
family members
too.
do it too. They do
They
social
sure do.
security fraud. They do. You have people living in a home and they're collecting their
Putting
social
bills
security
in your
shit.
baby's name is
Yep.
financial
Abuse,
abuse.
right?
You don't understand. I used to work at Comcast for 6 years.
Child.
And how somebody can't get service because they realize their mom or their aunt put service in their name at too. And then my whole thing is they need the social security number. I feel like that's the government's fault. Like, yes, it's that person's fault, but if we really, this the government's fault. When you put a motherfucking social security number in, ain't it attached to the birth date?
Child.
So how the fuck can somebody get that shit at 2?
How the fuck can somebody
Like, how
put
are they
DTE
letting
in
them
their
do
name?
that?
How can
Yeah.
somebody put DTE and AT&T in their name at 2-3 years old?
They like, well, shit, it's a social security number. But yeah, like, it's financial abuse. You have to think about the emotional abuse and the manipulation that they're putting you in. Like, again, I've been in that situation where if I've tried to walk away, he's talking about how he can't live without me and all of this shit. Just really trying to make you feel that guilt.
Yeah, nigga.
Just
Honest, at the end of the day, okay.
because I remember I was having a conversation with him,
R.I.P.
and this was before I really understood anxiety and didn't, I wasn't diagnosed with it for real, but I was just telling him one day, I was just I'm just crying all the time, I feel like I want to kill myself, all of this shit, and he was like, well, I want to kill myself too, and I'm just like, you know what?
That's not what why did
That's
you have
not
to
what
give
the
me
fuck-
that little?
Well, that's not what we're here
tidbit.
talking about. I'm here expressing to you how I feel, and now you're trying to manipulate me into a situation where I'm telling you how I feel, and now you want to add your shit onto it. That's another thing. If you are feeling bad and somebody keeps putting shit on you, you need to walk away. And it's a lot easier said than done. But there is help out there for you. I want to say it's called Haven House. I should have had all this shit written down somewhere. But, you can look up, resources. The Sasha Center, you can definitely call them. The website is sashacenter.org. You could call our hotline anytime. If we can't help you in that moment, we can definitely point you to other resources where we can get you the help that you need. So
Why don't we do this? You can email Ryan all the information.
Okay.
And at the end of the episode, when we put it on YouTube, we can have that pop up.
yeah,
Is that something that's possible, Ryan?
we can do that.
And we can
Perfect.
do that. And
Because it's a lot of resources, again, if you are being physically abused and, a lot of people can't walk away because they have those financial ties to their partner. So
They may
you
not
feel
have
like you
anywhere to
can't-
go.
y'all
This
remember
is their
the
last
Giants
resort.
kicker? JG, I know you probably know this story.
Child, no.
The Giants kicker, the wife was afraid to admit to abuse. He was beating the shit out of her.
Yeah.
Because he was going to get kicked out of the NFL and they wouldn't have any
You lose your
money.
financial
and she was
stability,
going to
yep.
lose the financial stability. And I think some group raised money for her and the kids to sustain, because he definitely got kicked out the fucking NFL after all the
Good.
shit came out.
Good, right.
It took a while.
Deserve.
It runs rampant.
He was white, so,
Yeah. especially in the sports. Like, I mean, you saw with what's the man who knocked the girl out in the elevator?
Oh yeah.
Ray Rice.
Ray Rice.
Ray Rice. The
And
other kid,
I
the
have
other guy
to-
who was beating his kid. You know.
Adrian Peterson.
Yeah. Was he really beat? What? I don't know.
His son got an ass whooping. But
you talking about from somebody who's never gotten a whooping in his life.
Me neither.
That sounded
it,
like a
it
Spoiled
shows.
only
It
child
shows.
syndrome.
Yeah,
I'm
because
not the
me
only
and
child
Jam
that
are
ever
like
got a
so
whooping.
cool, and we never got whoopings.
It doesn't show with her. She seems normal.
But
She's
She
got
does seem normal. I'm actually, but if you're not the only child, you are probably the only girl.
Nope.
You the only child?
nigga?
No, she's not the only
I
child.
got
You the youngest
2
girl.
older siblings.
You the
Yeah, see,
youngest
it's still
girl.
different.
That's
So-
what it is.
so
You're
it's
the
like,
youngest girl.
when
Well,
you-
so the parents figured it out. They was like, we ain't got
Nah,
a
it's just
You
like
the youngest girl. That
your
makes sense.
older siblings beat your ass. Like you fight
Nope.
with your older siblings. You ain't fight with your older siblings. Never.
You know who else was like that?
How
Josh
really?
ain't
I'm
never fight
surprised.
his older brothers.
Granted, my mother
Josh
didn't beat
brothers
me. My
scared
mother
to
maybe
leave, too.
hit me every day for a week. I deserved it for sure. Won't lie. Deserved it.
Yeah, you look like you be headbutting niggas for no reason.
Anyway, my mother beat me every day for a week once, but other than that, she
Damn.
never really did anything.
What
But
did
my
you do?
sister wouldn't shut the fuck up
I can see
for the
that.
most part.
I can
Yeah,
see that.
but and I was
She's
I was
like,
in
beat
school
me. And
and
your
she
mom
just
was like, bet.
I got notices sent home every day. She really just didn't know what else to do with me, so I understood even then, and they weren't that bad. I was like, damn, but my
I beat
sister
my
used to beat
dog
my
once
ass.
and
Like my
felt
sister
bad.
tortured me.
Yeah, no.
My
I
sister
don't-
was 13 years older than me and tortured me.
Yeah, see,
Yeah,
my brother,
best
he's
friends,
5 years older than me, and my sister's 8 years older than me. So, like, at the point where I
ain't
was
wanna
like
deal with your
grown
ass.
enough,
and it ain't
you
no
know,
ass whooping
But
really
yeah,
coming
but
in.
by the time I was grown enough, like my sister, she cherished me. She treated me honestly. That was my mama for real. Cause like I said, she was 13 years older than me.
Okay.
She was my first mama for sure. My sister definitely helped raise me. Cause after I was old enough, I was partying in the hood.
Shout
with
out
my
to
sister
sis.
and her old ass friends.
So-
I loved it. I still love it.
So story
Old
number
bitches.
2.
story number 2.
I think we on like 4. But
No, like
Maybe
that was
3.
that was my first real like full story. This is like my second story
Okay.
that I plan to tell. I don't know if I told the story in full. So, and it's a whole roundabout, I'll admit. So, last year I was at a house party, and a couple women came in. Hey, how you doing? A couple months later, my girl hits me up, and she's like, "Hey, when you were at such and such's party, did you tell somebody that they had really nice breasts and that you wanted to suck them?" And I said, "The fuck are you talking about?" I might have felt that way about a couple motherfuckers in my past life, but I wouldn't just randomly tell somebody that, especially somebody that I don't know, because I didn't know the name she gave. And I'm like, what party was this? So I realized the party, and so I said, let's get down to the motherfucking bottom of this. The last thing I am is a liar. You can call me a lot of shit. Liar is not one of them. So I hit the girl up, and I hit the person who told my girl of the story. And when I hit I put them in a group chat on Instagram. And I said, hey, such and such, based off of what such and such said, you said that I made you feel uncomfortable. And I apologize for that, but I would like you to elaborate on how I made you feel uncomfortable. And I would also like to know why you stated that I said things that I did not say, which was, and I put in quotations, the same statement. The girl responded, what the fuck are you talking about? I say, aha. I sent it back to my girl. Proof's in the pudding. Now, I'll admit, my girlfriend never came to me in this situation in an accusatory manner. She didn't believe it from the beginning, but somebody ever bringing some shit up to you like that is a little wild. So the friend admitted I lied. And the friend admitted I lied. I don't know why she lied. We never talked about it. Maybe it was because she didn't feel I was right for her, for my girlfriend, and this was her way. To this day, I thought about it because I'm not mad about it anymore. I think that even though she lied, her intentions were there. They were just completely wrong, and she went about it the wrong way. And that's not why I'm telling the story. The reason I'm telling the story is when someone comes to me with a story, before I hear everything, I'm a little hesitant to just believe. And maybe that's because of my own traumatic experience, because that does make me uncomfortable. You get what I'm saying? I'm around women all the fucking time. Majority of my friends are women. Majority of my guests on this show are women. Like, majority of the high school I went to, the college that I went to, are women. Majority of this fucking city is black women. How the fuck do I look if somebody feels this way about me? So my question is, why is it that when people take example, if somebody said to you, pause, abuse somebody, that's all they said. Say, oh, how do you know that? And they say, somebody else told me that pause abused somebody else. Oh, damn, what did they do? I don't know, but that's what they told me. My question is, I wouldn't judge you if you believe that pause abused somebody. But I also wouldn't judge somebody who said I can't really go off of that yet. It's because of maybe before, I can't remember how I felt then, but maybe before my experience, maybe I would have. But having my own experience where someone lied on me, it makes you take a step back there because your shoe, like you put your shoe on somebody else's foot. I've been there. So my question is, how do we handle situations where some people don't believe certain things and some people do in that meeting? Because I feel like we can all be allies here and work together for the common good. But when you have some people upset and blocking people because they didn't believe one thing, and some people, and we're not talking about somebody with 8 fucking rape stories on Eastern Michigan rape page. You get what I'm saying? Because I've seen that. I'm not talking about obvious shit. Brandon Hunter, 3 accusation, text thread, proof shit. You get what I'm saying? I'm not talking about that bullshit. I'm not talking about the obvious duh moments. I'm saying, to me, I feel like we can't be mad at each other if I told you that story and you believe that Pauls did it and I believe he did it. We shouldn't combat each other. But how can we work together still knowing that we have something that's not common? Am I making sense so far? Where we can still work together and not be against each other, because I feel like that's not the way to build allies.
I think you have to understand that 2 to 10% of assault accusations are false.
100% facts.
I think people just need to understand that, like,
every 9-10 rape cases or assault cases, 9 of them are true.
10 out of 10. So it's just, if we understand that and going into it, yes, it was a lot of people who I was friends with, and it's like you want to believe the victims, you want to believe the survivors, but it's just like, damn, that's my homeboy, and I want him to be innocent. But
right, I want to believe better, but these facts are they seem undisputed, and it's like, well, I gotta cut you off. I gotta do what's best for me, because I can't be around I don't want to be around any type of abuse. I don't want to associate myself with any person that's going to be able to violate somebody in that fashion ever. Nor do I want to trigger any survivors that I may know if they see me interacting with their abuser. That's just not anything that I wouldn't want to do, because I wouldn't want you to do that to me. If I told you that somebody that has done something to me, and I want you to know that I would have the same respect for you, that exactly. I would not want to interact with you.
All right, sorry, we had to take a potty break, so if it's a stop and a start, my apologies.
Chatter, pee.
Chop it up, right?
You was gone for like 12 minutes. Never mind. So, and you was walking, like, you walked different, like, when you came back, so it was, never mind. So,
I don't take shits in public.
Girl, I can't. I wish.
Me neither. I had to take shit at a rest stop
I'm a
once.
shy pooper.
It was the worst shit ever.
Yeah, I'm a
like,
shy
not the
pooper,
shit, but
sure.
like the never mind. So look,
the circumstance.
The
circumstance of your shit.
So, and it's weird. I never squatted, so it was like I had to put down. All right, so look, that's a conversation after this. So you were stating that you block and you remove and things like that, right?
Yes.
So, and you said when you hear an accuser, right?
Mm-hmm.
What about when you didn't hear the accuser? Because like the story, the analogy I gave, it was never the accuser. It was someone who heard from someone else that said
when
they
I
heard
hear
from
the
abuser
is what I'm saying. I say when I hear from the abuser that they have gone through something with accused. I said that I block abusers. I said that I will block an abuser if I've heard something from the accuser.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said when you hear from the abuser. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, when I hear from the accuser, I'm going to block that.
Source.
Straight from the source. I'm going to block that abuser. And even if I have friends on some of those pages, and I reached out to them like, yo, what is this? Like, what's going on? I don't even care if you doing okay. I want to know if this is true.
Period.
Like,
She
what
said,
did you
"Fuck that.
do?
I
I
feel
don't care.
that."
I don't care how you doing. You could be going through mental and emotional turmoil and anguish, but if what I've seen,
But if
if what I've seen is true,
I had a
nigga, you
friend
got
that
no.
was
I'm
on
not
there.
associating with you anymore because I'm you. Just because I'm your friend doesn't mean you can do anything like that to me or put me in any
Period.
type
Yeah.
of situation where I could be in harm. I
So
don't want to
do
be involved
you-
with you.
So I don't know about you guys. In my situation, my friend that was on one of the pages, I'm not gonna say his name. He had proof to back up his innocence, and when I say proof, I want to make sure I'm being clear. Like I'm not stating his word against hers. Like he had detailed documentation as far as what had happened on campus, along with text message proof from this girl of these things. And my question is, how do you handle friends like not in those situations? Do you attempt to rehabilitate? Does it depend on exactly what is the accused them of doing? Do you have that conversation? Do you dead that? And we're talking about real friends. I ain't talking about somebody that
For sure.
talk to when you see them out. I'm talking about me and you talk a lot. If you heard some shit about me or I heard some shit about you, how do we handle that? I know how I would handle that, but I'm curious as far as your take, Jim, on how someone should handle those situations with those people.
It's not on me to rehabilitate you. If you know you were wrong, then you need to take the steps to correct it. I was definitely telling some of my friends that I saw on the page, like, hey, you need to, if you know when this situation happened, if you know who the person is that is accusing you of these things, you need to talk to her.
You need to reach out to that
and
person.
figure out what did you do to make her feel uncomfortable.
Because there are things in there, like, you know,
That's what
things
I
are
did when I heard that
substantial.
lie.
Things can be substantial. Things could be like, you know, it could seem like, you know, everything is cool. It could seem like everything is gravy. But at the end of the day, the accuser felt some type of way about it. And maybe they didn't get a chance to voice it right then and there. They may have not have felt comfortable. They may not have felt like that was the right situation to do because they may have felt scared. They may have been afraid. At the end of the day, if you do hear something like that, you need to reach out to that person, like you said, reconcile, figure out what's going on. Like, apologies need to be made. Something needs to come from it. And if at the end of the day you just shying away from it, like, that shit ain't true, I ain't do that shit, like, that's not okay. That's not enough. That's not even an apology at the end of the day. Granted, you don't need to bring your apology to the timeline. You don't need to bring your apology to social media. That was just a platform that these people felt safe to provide that information, to call out their accusers. That was a platform that they were able to utilize. They felt safe. They felt ensured that their information wouldn't get back to anybody. But all of that was so specific. Like, you know, if you being talked about, you know who that is.
And it was for a lot of the people who had the multiple allegations, it was the same story. The same MO.
I'm not going to
every
say
time.
names, you know, for legal purposes, but it was a Eastern Michigan person.
Ooh.
And I know the exact situation that you're talking about.
And I remember when I was I graduated in 2008, and my girlfriend at the time went to Eastern, and they introduced me to this guy. Ended up he was fucking her too. But anywho, like, he was always, you know, with like different girls or whatever. So when I heard the story, when I heard the story, I was kind of taken aback because it's like, I've been around this guy, even though it was 9, 10, 11 years ago.
Understandable.
It was like, damn, you too, such and such? And
then
it was 1, it was 2, it was, I want to say at least 3. And like you guys said, I read every single fucking story.
Oh, you shouldn't have did that.
And I was like,
maybe I don't know who you're talking about because I feel like I only read one.
no, this person, he
there
had
was somebody on
several
there
stories.
with like 20. Yeah.
No,
There
it
was
was
several.
one
There was
dude
because
on there
I
that
too-
needs to be
I too
hung.
went to Eastern, and I recognized almost every single person from the University of Michigan and Eastern page that at least graduated. You know, that was at least there between 2008 and 2014. But
like that guy, like you said, the guy that I seen on there multiple times that I knew, like, I mean, I'm not cool with him. I just met him a couple times, but it was like, these motherfucking stories is similar than a motherfucker, fam.
Very.
I don't know
And
how
that's-
you fucking say all these people
But
lying.
that's exactly what Jan was saying. Like
Yeah.
once you get multiple stories with the same MO
Like,
from
you
the
know
same
that nigga
person, like
did it.
you know that the nigga did it. If there's so many people saying the same thing about this person, you know that that person did it. You know that person has to be guilty. So,
But and my thing is, I'm gonna take a stance that I'm counting on friends and families that know about this shit to actually hold those people accountable.
Yep.
Because I feel like less people do these things.
but I mean, at the end of the day, who's gonna admit that they're an abuser? Like you may tell a story, you may tell an anecdote, and how you deliver that anecdote, it's going to be perceived by your friends completely different than it would be perceived by somebody else. I could tell an anecdote, something can happen, you could coerce me into sex, and the way you tell it, like, yeah man, no, she was resisting me, but you know, at the end of the night I hit that shit. And when I go tell my friends, like, dog, this nigga asked me so many times to fuck, and I just eventually was like, okay.
I've heard that.
So it's the delivery and it's the perception. So that goes into a lot of that.
And I think what people have to understand, especially with a lot of these stories, is, you know, we glorify drunk sex, we glorify high sex, all of that. And it's like, yes, you can do that. Yes, it feels great. I'm not going to say.
Because what was that podcast where our girl talking about she's 7 dicks and she was like, yeah, I was fucked up. And even he said, it was like, it sounds like you were too fucked up to be sucking 7 dicks.
Yes.
And it was like, it didn't even really register to her. Like, she was like, no, I was with it. And I mean, I get that. By all means, be free, be open, be as sexual as you want to be. Suck as many dicks as you want.
As many as
but
you
at the end of the day, like, it's just like, it's the perception. It's the perception of how I, the victim, am feeling it, and it's the perception of how the abuser or the accuser is giving it. So
and you have to read the fucking room.
Yeah.
Read the room.
I've read stories, and I'm not going to get in depth to the shit I read because I know that shit's traumatizing. Because if it was traumatizing me fucking reading it on the fucking tweet, I can only imagine how it is for a motherfucker that's been through anything, let alone the person that happened to. But I read shit where niggas was playing 2K while the nigga was on the couch to the right doing this shit to a chick. Like,
they should go to hell too.
And they should. And you sat there and you let it happen. An enabler. You're an enabler.
And that's why when I was ever accused of being an enabler, I took and will take extreme offense to that because look at, you know, the difference. Like when you say enabler, like you got people, and that's what I mean by hold accountable. It's people out there that know that their friends are doing sick shit. Shit that's not okay.
Because it can be as simple as bro, why are you even pressuring them? Why are you even pressuring them like that? Why you pressuring them like that? Like, calm down.
Stop pressing her.
Like,
she good.
She good. Like, and you can still be all in the game. Like, bro, leave her alone. Like, why are you pressing her like that?
I had a friend.
It could be just a simple sentence like that.
Bro,
to the
chill.
Point. Like, bro,
very
chill.
simple. Two words.
I've had somebody have to say that to a woman that was pressing me. They had to say, relax. And she kept going. And
sometimes you need to, it's literally, like she said, it could be a minimum of 1 to 3 words. Relax.
Or it don't even have to be a level 10, beat a nigga ass. It could literally be hey bro, have a drink with me outside for a second.
Okay.
Say, it could be a simple talk, a simple of me pulling you away from the crowd and just like me and you hashing it up.
Take a step back. Just like how you was telling me before the show for another reason to calm down, take a deep breath, and relax. Like, it could literally be, and I think that men and women and friends and family need to take those steps. Like, I hate that shit when a motherfucker gets abused by the uncle or the aunt, and they got to see that motherfucker at every fucking family picnic, dinner, whatsoever.
Listen to the people in your life when they say something is going on.
Okay.
Yeah, and I feel like that should be and before I even get to my point, I find it fucking like exhausting where I hear these stories from young men and young women, and a parent says or a family member says you're lying. How can a fucking kid be that motherfucker to elaborate about some shit like that and make it up? How they even know about that shit to make it up?
And tell you details of exactly what happened and how it went down. And names. and you just don't want to believe it because you just want to brush it under the rug.
Yeah.
Because at that point, it's out of sight, out of mind. No, that's not. That's not one of those things. That not for them, not for their child. That is now going to see not only this person completely differently. They're going to see you differently because you didn't
protect them.
You didn't take any action, and they're going to see the world differently because think about that's going to fuck up their mind view for anybody that comes close to them as an adult. A child is looking at these. Now you can't even trust your adult figures in your life.
You can't.
Yep. And I find it very traumatizing for people like that. And I've seen people in that situation as kids and how they've grown up as adults. And I'm not going to say like they're a bad person, but they're a little.
It literally
you could
affects
tell
how you relate to people in your life.
You could tell the effects that it has on them because of the things that's happened in their childhood and how it affects them because their parent or
trauma
family
stays
member
with
didn't
you.
believe them.
Trauma is going to stay with you. PTSD is.
Think about
even if you take the steps to go to therapy and heal from it, that trauma is still going to be there.
That trauma is still going to be with you. Like it's gonna be in at some point. It's going to be ingrained in you. It's something that you may not. It may come to the point where, and I think I've heard like an analogy where it's like there's a box, and sometimes there's something in the corner of that box, and sometimes it fills that box. Regardless, there's always going to be something in the corner of the box.
Period.
Well, what I'll say is to kind of end the show, I'm gonna let everybody like have their moment if they want to say something additional as well. But I definitely appreciate you guys for coming on the show and having this conversation because I know it's not an easy one. I also want to say that even on this episode, I feel like it was certain things that we all didn't agree 100% on. But I feel like this is how everyone becomes together
how you have the conversation
and becomes allies. Example, I was supposed to have this conversation with another group. And then after that did not happen, I still wanted to have this conversation the same date that I was going to have with that group, but with somebody that was from that field to give their level of expertise and their experience with these people and for us to have this conversation. And I mean, I know I wrote down some stuff this morning as far as how I felt. And what I'm stating is like Cocktales with Cocktales from the beginning, two co-hosts in, I want to say almost 2 years in, recorded over 100 episodes. And we have always and will always state, ask for permission first. Like you hear it on so many different episodes. Ask for permission first. Make sure she comes first. Like that's like my tagline for shit.
Come and consent.
Yeah, come and consent. Double C's there. Fuck Chanel. And the point that is Chanel the double? Yeah. Yes. So anywho, so the point that I'm making is when it comes to these things, we will, and I personally will never condone any type of abuse. Even I've had female friends, male friends that I've seen verbally abused, physically abused. And I think that and I'm glad that these things came to sight on Twitter. Shout out to whoever started that because I feel like that
took a lot of fucking courage.
That took a lot of courage.
And it took a lot of
emotional stability as well for you to be able to take something like that. And I'm sure I can't imagine the number of just things that were coming into that inbox that day because that's a lot.
Niggas was threatening
that's
the pages.
A lot of emotional. Yeah, like that's a lot of emotional strain on somebody. Like that's a lot. And so I commend whoever did that because.
Yeah,
and I pray they got the help and the therapy that they need to heal, not from just what happened to them, but
for sure
it could be re-traumatizing, even if you haven't
PTSD,
been abused.
anything can
but to just take all those stories
or even see that on Twitter,
like for real, like just all of us having to read those accounts and just going back, we were traumatizing ourselves.
Think of how many people who weren't brave enough to submit something to that page, and not even to say that they weren't brave enough, but just somebody who didn't want to submit to that page. They didn't feel open enough. Because to just think of how many, because I don't have these statistics on hand, but how many cases of assault and rape actually go unreported? Most.
I want to say it's about like 70 to 80.
Right, it's the majority. So what we even receive and what you receive
the bare minimum.
Is the bare minimum of what actually happens.
And that's why before like I think this happened like right after the sexual assault situation. Somebody had started a program where they were funding women with to get their CPLs. And I funded 4 women. And shout out to Kari, producer Kari, that's down in Atlanta. He came with me and he funded a few women as well.
Somebody funded me. It wasn't y'all, but somebody funded me.
Yeah.
to get my CPL.
There we go. And I do want to say that women, protect yourselves. Like, it's all about all of us, but let's call it what it is. Men are more capable to physically protect themselves than women. It's just general anatomy. So women, protect yourselves. I want to say all men allies who can financially afford it. I ask you to actually come together and pay for CPL classes, personal protection classes, and do something. You can reach out to me directly to the Cocktales with Cocktales page. I don't mind helping out with any drives programs. I don't even mind doing that again. But I think that we should all come together, because even though, fuck all the little shit. Fuck all the, if you agree with just something so small and I disagree with it, all that shit don't matter, because at the end of the day, we all have the same goal, unless you're one of those people that are a enabler or abuser. Because if you're one of those two people, then that's the only reason you would disagree with what I'm saying right now. Sure. Is that our common goal is to eliminate this shit and dead all this shit. And to abusers out there, I hope that you stop abusing. I hope that this conversation that we have and that you hear, that you think about what you did and you take that step back and you apologize to the person that, or persons that you abused, and you don't do that shit moving forward, and you actually get help. And that, you know, it may not be as many of us out there, but it's some of us that will beat your ass. I know that for me to have the friends that I have, and 80 to 90% of them being women, the only reason, if that ever happened to them, that they would not tell me is because of what would happen to you. So with that being said, it's not to say like I'm some crazy ass cutthroat nigga. It's to say that I am a crazy ass cutthroat nigga when it comes to my women. And when I say my women, I say African American queens, because we have to stop this from happening. We have to stop putting ourselves, our society, on the African American woman's back, and also beat them at the same time. So when I say these things, we have to focus on these things, and we have to truly think about these things. And it's crazy, because a lot of the abusers that I've seen also had daughters, and that was the wildest thought to me. Yeah. And even though I don't have a child, like, I can only imagine, like, the shit that I would hear.
I would also like to say that there should be absolutely no reason that just because somebody is your daughter, your sister, or your mother, that you automatically want to keep women safe. You should want to keep a woman.
It don't matter the fucking relationship.
You should want to keep a woman safe because that's a woman. You should want to keep someone safe because that's a person. And for the most part, the only thing you can take for yourself is for you to protect yourself. So you should just want to keep everybody as safe as you would want to be. And with that being said, I do want to ask Jamila one more thing. Yes. What do you think, Jam? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, girl.
I got your back.
Yeah. We gonna cut out every time we just say her name. If you can,
just with a boop,
boop. But with that being said, what are your top 3 ways that people can be better allies to assault victims? Period.
Woo, child.
If you can get not, and you know what, we're not gonna break it down to the top 3. What are the top ways that people can be an ally to assault victims?
And I don't think we talked about this yet, but you have to figure out what word to identify them as. Some people like to use the word victim. Some people like to use survivor. Some people don't even like to identify as either.
Okay.
That's number 1. How would you like to be identified?
Okay.
Number 2.
Damn. I ain't never fucking think about that shit.
And it's something that I didn't really notice until I started working with the Sasha Center.
Okay.
We call them self-identified survivors.
Okay.
Because it's people who have been assaulted. But until you make that step to say, this has happened to me, and this is how I'm going to identify myself in the world as a relation to this event.
Because what does they say? Denial is the first step, and acceptance is the second.
Hello.
So.
Tell them. So, yes, that's the first thing. How would you like to be identified? Secondly, find these organizations that are doing the work to help heal them. So the Sasha Center is one.
Provide them with resources.
Yeah. So the Sasha Center is one. I know it's the Michigan. It's a really long one, but they do domestic violence and sexual assault. What else is another one?
Question.
Yes.
Because you work with Sasha Center directly, what is it that we can do to help support Sasha Center?
We need some money. We need
Okay.
some money.
How
Throw
can
in the
we
And
donate?
we can
Throw
get
in
that information too
Yep,
at the
and
end.
you could go to it's
No, I want
on the
her to say
website
it.
sashacenter.org. You can donate money. You can help us find grants because a lot of the times we don't get the money from the grants that the government provides and stuff because we don't do the typical therapy. We don't do the typical like
'Cause it's
psychology
holistic.
and
It's
stuff because
holistic
it's
healing.
holistic. We talk about everything. We in there talking about crystals and Florida
Right.
water.
Now Western
and-
medicine.
Hello.
Girl,
Hey,
Yo,
shout out to Big
'cause
Sean. He
I'm-
just mentioned
I'm
how
all
Western
with-
medicine would have had a tube in his heart,
For sure, yeah.
but he
And
ended up taking magnesium for 2 weeks and it completely went away.
Period.
I'm all
and that's
I'm
what
all
that's
for
what we're
non-modern
doing.
medicine. I do the crystals. I do all
Yeah,
types of healing.
yeah. Because we took a few people because we do a group every 2 weeks, and so back before Corona hit in October, we took a group down to New Orleans, and New Orleans is famous
Oh,
for
yeah. I have
the
several crystals that I
hoodoo
bought in New
and
Orleans.
all of that,
teas, the potions, the
all
candles,
of it, and so
the
we
tonics.
do
I'm
the
Potions.
the
They have-
potions.
They have potions.
They got potions, baby.
It's all herbs. It's usually just all herbs. Something like
Everything you can find in the earth.
Everything
We
you
talk
can
about
find.
it. We
But-
put it together.
Yeah, 'cause
So
New Orleans got a deep history of African
yeah.
Yeah.
healing history and
Yes.
spiritual history and
Yes.
everything. I mean, they want to call it voodoo and witchcraft, but it's really like before we were introduced to this
To the
whole
bullshit.
Yep.
to this whole Judeo-Christian God.
Back when we were
We
using
had
the
we
herbs
had
to
all
heal
this
us.
shit.
Woo.
We had all of this shit, and now they want to call it this, but that's what, at least in the States, that's I guess you call it maybe like a Mecca where we can go and reconnect with our roots.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, definitely supporting us in that way. I know we are looking for volunteers. You can also sign up to be a volunteer at sashacenter.org. We are celebrating our 10th year. So we'll be doing a big fundraiser probably around like October.
Do we have to wait until the fundraiser to donate?
No, you don't. You can just go to the website and donate.
Can you
Well-
spell Sasha Center?
It's SASHA Center.org.
Thank
Do you guys have an Instagram?
Yep. I think it's Sasha Center 1. Let me check.
I'm gonna go on here and follow now.
And I got a response from the text that y'all dared me to do earlier.
Oh, so we're gonna end the. Oh, it's just Sasha Center.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's Sasha Center 1 on Twitter.
Okay. So what I'll do, I definitely want to end the show with that. I want you to read the text and the
For
answer.
sure.
But I do want to pledge. Remind me
Uh-huh.
because I'm about to take some more of this liquor and go to the park. But I am pledging $169 from Cocktales with Cocktales to the Sasha Center. And I now want to end the episode with you reading that text message and the response.
Okay. So I literally text what you told me to text.
No, what did you say?
Out of curiosity, why haven't you eaten my ass? He said, same reason I haven't eaten any ass before. Just hasn't been something I wanted to do so far.
Can you hit the boo?
That wasn't boo. Boring.
Whatever one of those. Damn, that's sad.
I mean, listen,
Say that. Wait, say what he said again.
he don't want to eat ass.
He
But he
basically
said
don't
so
wanna eat
far,
ass.
so it's still like a little.
So basically, all you gotta do is push his head down a little further. Let him hit the.
I mean,
tongue on
listen,
the
again,
booty.
we've been talking about consent and all of that. So if you don't want to eat my
So,
ass,
Right.
no,
if he
not-
doesn't want to
he didn't
eat
say
it,
that,
but he
though.
didn't say that. He said the opportunity hasn't presented itself.
What?
So all you gotta do is open up that booty.
No,
hole
no,
and
no,
present
no,
the
no, because that's
opportunity.
that's pressure.
exactly,
All
that's coercion.
what you need to
Okay,
do is
you're
say,
right.
what
My
you need to
apologies.
do is say, well, just to let you know,
I like my
I
booty
would
eaten.
like to get my ass say, and if you would like to do it, I will have no problems with you doing that. We will wait and end the show after you send that text.
We're
I
not
send
about
you
to
another
pressure her to
version.
do
Okay,
that.
this is coercion again,
Let's go. Okay, and that's a wrap, folks.
She's afraid to get her ass.
That's a wrap, folks.
I am.
Ba-dum-bum.
She gonna fart on his face.
What's she